Hey, AfterBuzzers, you're tuned in to the Vice Principal's After Show. We have special guest Sheaun McKinney, a.k.a. Deshaun, here, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yeah, we're back. Woohoo! Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to the Vice Principal's After Show, Episode 3, The Field Trip. Exciting stuff.
Woo-woo. Yes.
Deshaun, Sheaun
Yay,
Williams is here.
Yes.
Crazy.
Special guest. Very exciting.
Be sure to like us on iTunes and subscribe and favorite us and tweet, all that stuff. Where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter, Sheaun305. That's Sheaun. My name is not Sean. My name is not Sean. I have to repeat this a million times.
Yeah.
It's not Sean. In case you were wondering, it's not Sean.
It's not Sean? No?
Yeah, no. It's Sheaun. Sheaun305. You can find me on Instagram, Sheaun McKinney, and Facebook the same, Sheaun McKinney. Yeah.
Awesome. And Tamra and Chelsea.
Kelsey.
My name is not Chelsea. It's Kelsey.
See, you feel me? There you go.
Sorry.
Perfect. We planned that,
Yeah.
obviously. Mm-hmm. Go on.
I'm Tamra. You can find me on, hey, we were talking about Snapchat. You can find me on Snapchat, hey, Tamra. You can find me on Twitter at Brown Tamra.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Hightower, and you can find me on all social media at Kels Hightower.
And I'm Kelly McInerney. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HollyWeirdo or Snapchat Kelly McInerney, but with 3 L's, because Kelly McInerney was taken. Yeah. Let's get it.
I'm just exhausted from our names. Like,
It's a lot
All
to take
right.
in.
We did it.
Whole
And
lot
that's
to
our
take in.
show.
This one was a fun one. It's the field trip. About a field trip.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a field trip?
Yeah.
I remember field trips. When I was growing up in Miami, if you didn't bring a lunch, they used to give you a free lunch. We called it a choke sandwich. It was some thick peanut butter. And you would literally choke on it. So I remember
whether you have a peanut allergy or not.
whether or not, you better eat that peanut sandwich.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a fun, your favorite field trip?
We went to the Museum of Science in Miami. Believe it or not, Miami has museums and a lot of culture, and everybody just thinks it's South
not
Beach.
just nightclubs.
There's a lot of things going on in Miami.
Not just Dexter.
And not just
right.
mosquitoes with Zika.
Exactly.
No.
Well, somebody just got Zika in Miami.
I know.
I need to call my mama and make sure it wasn't
Sounds
her.
scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Museum of Science was my favorite field trip of all time.
That's real fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we start the episode actually with you telling Gamby to sit with the teachers.
You're like his wingman.
Yeah.
Deshaun is very much the voice of reason for Neil Gamby, played by Danny McBride.
Yeah.
I describe him as the coolest guy you've ever met. That's Deshaun. You know, I think everybody.
For sure.
Yeah, everybody in school had that person that worked somewhere in maintenance that was just real cool.
Yeah.
They could spit a whole paragraph out with a cigarette and not drop it the entire time. That's Deshaun. And he will hit on any single teacher that's around him. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Favorite, I really like your character in this.
Oh, thank you.
Just because he is the cool guy. He's the one that Danny can or Mr. Gamby can confide in, and he needs all the help that he can get. So I'm glad that you're there for him.
And you like him, or you seem to like him, which is not popular in the school.
I think that I agree with Gamby's principles as they were, but his tactics, the way he goes about things, I'm just like, not so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you get to improvise on set?
Yeah, they allowed so much room for improv, which is really great and refreshing. I'm a part of a theater company back in Miami, and I started with theater and started with improv. And even from the very first audition I went to, I read the scene, and then my second audition, Danny was in the room, and they were like, "Okay, now you're gonna read with Danny McBride." And at one point, he dropped the script. And he was like, "You ready?" And I was a little bit cocky. I was like, "Are you ready?" But we went back and forth, and it was great, man. And for them to allow that on set, as an actor, as an artist, it's very refreshing. And you stay on your game, with those guys.
Nice.
They're incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible
fun.
I feel like you would have to be very quick to be able to keep up with that.
There's so much that was said that probably didn't make the didn't make the cut, but oh my God, it was so much fun.
Should be like a second cut of
There
just
should.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
the riff.
For the
Extras.
DVDs.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, so the whole episode was around the field trip, but before the field trip, we find out that Gamby's daughter is deciding to do motocross instead of.
She gave up on Shadowfax.
Yeah.
She gave up on the horse. Yeah.
Dangerous hobby to pick up, motocross.
Yeah.
According to Gamby, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not happy about it.
No, he's
doesn't really like anything Ray stands for. Even though he seems like a nice guy.
Doesn't he say like it's like a white trash sport, but it's like. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He does, yeah.
Slightly better than horseback riding, I guess. Yeah.
More thrilling, at least. I don't know. I just think of thrilling like that.
Thrilling.
That's thrilling.
Yeah.
I'd much rather ride a horse, though. I'm not messing with motorcycles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too fast.
Dangerous. So then he finds out about this field trip. And he wants to go on it because Miss Snodgrass is on it, and he wants a little piece of that Snodgrass.
He wants a piece of that Snodgrass. You're right. You're right.
That does not sound appealing.
It's gonna become America's newest romance. You know, you're gonna root for that Gamby Snodgrass
man.
romance. Yeah.
Are you guys rooting for it? Because I am not.
Why you don't want to see Gamby and Snodgrass? I think it's because of the name Snodgrass, the way it sounds. Like,
I think it,
Sounds like snot.
if it was like Patterson, you'd be okay with it, like Gamby and Patterson. But it's like Gamby
see,
and
it's the name
Snodgrass.
things again. If we don't get the name right, then we can't get on board with it. The relationships, I can't. His like disrespectful misogyny, I just can't get around it. I can't get around it. I'm just like,
And it is very in your face.
Yes.
And he's very unapologetic about it.
unapologetic. But it's so real. I mean, how many people do you know like that in this world? Like
Right.
he's just so realistic. too.
Right, and there's a lot of them like that. And I think what they were great about it was crafting the show around these two characters, and not necessarily intentionally trying to, push on whether it's misogyny or race or politics, whatever. It's just two outrageous people that you can go, I know somebody like that.
Yeah.
This is the world they live in, and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the guy that's voting for Trump because he likes.
I was thinking the same thing.
Because he doesn't like PC culture, and he's like, I appreciate that he speaks his mind. That's what Gamby's saying.
Yeah, Gamby probably would, until Snodgrass talked him out of it, voting for Trump. Yeah.
So he actually gets on the trip by threatening Hayden, basically, that he'll shut it down. Just typical Gamby fashion. Just taking over.
Right.
They're going to Charlestown.
Uh-huh.
Hayden seems like a nice teacher.
He seems like the cool, popular
Hayden.
teacher, like the cool kid in school.
It's like riding the bike through the hallway is so dorky, but he does kind of pull it off.
He owns it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike, played by Michael Gorman. Yeah, brilliant actor. Yeah. Everybody loves Hayden, but I'll just say, keep watching.
Because I love him right now. Like,
Right.
he seems very cool.
See, of course, right. At some point, you're going to be rooting for Gamby. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Oh,
You'll
what's
be rooting
gonna
for
happen?
Gamby.
I'm waiting for that.
All up in that Snodgrass. All up in it.
And then, so he quickly becomes a part of this trip that not many people like, Gamby. He kind of ruins it. He's very, he says asshole on the bus in front of the kids. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
And he was an asshole by saying don't be an asshole. He also brings that book that Lee Russell has on Snodgrass, which is the creepiest book in
creepy.
the world.
It's a little creepy.
It kind of makes me think of the Burn book in Mean Girls. For some reason, at the very end, I was like, this is like Mean Girls, because I feel like the whole, the teacher, I don't know, like what we're seeing, the relationships here, instead of, like, they're what you would see with kids, but they're with the teachers. So I feel like this is kind of like the Burn book for the kids, but it's
that's
with
awesome.
teachers.
I think that, that structure, the hierarchy of high school, it never changes. No matter,
And I think-
once we graduate, whatever you go, whatever work field you go into, it's always like high school.
There's still popular kids. And
the
Absolutely.
cliques, and exactly.
Popular kids are over here. You see what I mean? And
Smart kids over here.
there you go. It never changes. So, but yeah.
it's funny too how they just act like that still, and I don't know, he's definitely the nerdy, angry little loner guy. Not even, I guess, nerdy maybe, but poor Gamby. So he misses dinner too, and nobody tells him.
Nobody told him about dinner. Yeah.
And he blows up.
Oh yeah.
Typical Gamby fashion. But Snodgrass decides to stay with him, which is a weird twist, because the whole time, how do you guys think Snodgrass feels about Gamby?
I was wondering if she noticed that he was, you know, kind of hitting on her, like, you know, having the feels for her and stuff. And I was kind of wondering if she realized that yet, because there's a point where you're going to notice if someone's talking to you and stuff. But yeah, and then that's kind of when you felt like, oh, she's noticing that he keeps paying special attention to her. And then she talks to him and is like, nobody likes you. Like, let's be real. Like, that's why I'm talking to you.
Nobody likes you.
Nobody likes you.
That was so satisfying because I've been waiting for her to blow up. I've been waiting for her to blow up since like the very beginning, whatever the first thing that he, not just this episode, but like in the first episode, I don't even remember what he said to her, but this episode with the like, oh, you're a history teacher, interesting, or English on a history trip, we're gonna have to get that approved. Just constantly just like knocking her down a peg, talking down to her. Yeah, so that was very satisfactory that she just.
You've been waiting for Snodgrass to give it to him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was
unload.
And he doesn't believe it. He thinks it's Hayden that's saying it, and she's like, "No, it's me."
Exactly.
Right here.
Yeah. Which is
these are the words coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, and that is what that person would say in that situation. That's
I
what he
wonder
would
that
think.
about people that are actually like that. Like, are you aware that you're a jerk? Like, has nobody ever told you?
I don't think he is. Do you guys think he is?
No.
I think
people like that. It goes right over there.
I don't think they're aware of it. No, not at all.
Yeah, he's.
Because they always say, if you don't know somebody like that, then it's probably you. Right.
We're all assholes.
That's what
all of assholes.
Lesson for tonight.
Good to know. Then he finds out that the teachers, the kids steal all his stuff. Ballsy kids, straight up. Just like not even closing the door, really.
Yeah.
Like, you know you were going to get in trouble. Like,
Those kids were up to a lot of things on that field trip.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
In my school, we never took an overnight field trip.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Scared
We
of
did
this.
once.
Yeah.
We did once. Yeah, we went to the Magic Kingdom or something like that, or Disney.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun.
Oh, that's cool. So these two kids were just having sex on a window.
They did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's plenty of beds. It's a hotel. I don't understand.
Kelly can't get down with the logistics.
Valid point.
Forget two kids having sex. Why didn't they use a bed?
There's probably a pool and a spa in that hotel room. Like, why would you find the most uncomfortable place?
A window.
Makes no sense. And then we find out that the teachers are partying without Gamby,
Right.
drinking mudslides. What? Who brought that?
Yeah.
Turning up without Gamby.
Right?
Yeah. Second time, left Gamby out.
Yeah.
He's for sure not happy about that.
Yeah, he's really bummed, so he decides to have sex with Miss Abbott. Okay.
Poor Miss Abbott. She's just such a sad character in this
Man.
episode.
So sad.
Let me tell you, Miss Abbott, she's coming.
I was gonna say there seems to be this love triangle that's gonna
There you go.
happen.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm picking
But
up on that.
Miss Abbott, played by the wonderful Edie Patterson, who's an incredible improv artist.
Yeah?
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I went to see a show of hers last night at the Falcon Theater.
Oh, really?
Tennessee Williams improv show.
wow.
Oh, that's
But-
cool.
And the whole
That's
thing
the
was
Gary
improv.
Marshall Theater.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly, yeah. But the whole show was improv, and she is a brilliant
Oh, cool.
improv artist. And where she goes in this show from this point, oh my God.
I'm excited
that's
about
awesome.
that.
You're gonna love it. I
Yeah.
can tell you that.
Yeah.
You're gonna love
Oh,
it.
awesome.
Yeah, because
Can't wait.
she finds out about that crazy Snodgrass book
Yeah.
and doesn't tell anybody
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Weird.
Which is great because now she has black belt against Gamby, so I'm excited to see what she's gonna do with that.
It's all starting to cook.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she's a woman, so she's smart, so I
Yeah.
know it's gonna be something good.
Yeah. And then nice, like, oddly sweet moment at the end with Snodgrass and Gamby connecting over finding a souvenir for
For his daughter.
So I guess there's the humanizing aspect of him. Oh,
Yeah.
he's trying to be a good dad.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
He's still not.
I mean, those are the only times when I actually like him. When I
Right.
actually
Yeah.
like Gamby is when it involves his daughter and he
Yeah.
is sweet and
Yeah.
that's when we see the human side to him.
I feel like I've told everybody at some point in the show you find yourself kind of rooting for each character, even when you don't want to. You just go, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel so bad for you, bro. Like, okay.
Who are
I
you
get it.
rooting for?
I'm a Gamby fan. I'm Team Gamby. You know, Deshaun allegiance doesn't switch. So from the
true.
beginning, I feel like maybe Gamby got Deshaun that job. So yeah, I'm Team Gamby all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But before we get into more questions about you, overall, that was what'd you guys think of the episode?
I'm liking it. I was talking to you guys earlier, so I said this on our last show that I had never watched Eastbound and Down, and I was not really getting the humor to this show. I was like, this isn't what I was expecting. What is this? And I watched Eastbound and Down this week. Like, I'm into season 1. I know I'm on the late train, but I get it. I love it. Like, it's the same thing. Like, it's the same humor, and I'm just like really enjoying this episode. So yeah.
I think this was my favorite episode so far. I think.
Yeah.
Tamara, what do you think?
I find it frustrating. Yeah, like the Gammy's he's just turning into more and more of a monster.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love monsters on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it like working with like Danny McBride and improvising all the time?
It was awesome, man. Like I said, I studied theater in school, and I have a theater company back home in Miami. Shameless plug, groundupandrising.org.
All right.
And yeah, we've done improv, street theater, and all that type of stuff. So to walk in a room and have them, the writers that wrote this stuff go, we're okay with you bringing whatever you want to the table. That was completely liberating, as an artist. And you have so much fun. At first, it may have been a little bit intimidating, but then, that competitive side kicks in, the artist kicks in, and you just go.
Yeah.
So I cannot describe how much fun it was and how nice they were. Like that whole Rough House, Danny McBride, Jody Hill, David Gordon Green, their whole team of writers and creators are the nicest, most down-to-earth people you can ever come across.
That's
like,
good.
truly.
That's good to know.
Yeah, they set the tone from day one that every door was open and everybody was approachable.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
That's really cool. So they have dialogue written out, like they have the script, and
absolutely.
then from that you just get to improv off of it.
So yeah, you'd probably do one. You probably want to do one take straight, of what's on the paper, and then some of it's just like whatever comes naturally, just go.
Yeah.
And they're so quick and so brilliant that whatever you say, there's going to be a reply.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great.
Awesome.
That is so fun.
Is it weird? Like, do you work in a school? Is it a real school?
We shot at a real school, and they also had a studio where they built a school, and it was so surreal. There were books that I remember, like reading when I was in high school and walking in the room, like, oh my God. I felt like I was instantly in trouble. But yeah, it was a real high school in Charleston, South Carolina, and then a studio, a production house that they built.
Oh, awesome. Cool. You play a cafeteria worker. Did you cook any cafeteria or anything?
Oh, I like to say I'm the head cafeteria worker. That's Deshaun runs the show. You know.
You can tell. You can tell. He's got a swagger.
Yeah.
Thank you for noticing. Yeah, my stocking cap and everything. It was, I did get to play around with a lot of food and fix a lot of trays. There's one episode where there's just a bunch of just raw meat. And I was just like, oh my God. And they were just like, dive in it. And I'm like, I'm not diving in this. It's not happening. But I got to play around with some food and make some meals. But it's interesting to see what that's like on the other side. When you're young and you're a kid, you have no idea what your teachers are like, what the maintenance people are like. And it was interesting being on the other side because we filmed around real kids. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And them looking at us. And I'm like, I wonder if this is how I looked like me when I was young. But,
yeah, it's funny. Do you guys have any other questions or no?
Was that your first time? Have you been to South Carolina before you started shooting?
I had not. That was my first time there, and I highly recommend that if you have not been to Charleston, like the food in Charleston is insane, like insanely good. Mm-hmm. It's recently, I guess, blowing up with a bunch of new chefs and whatnot there in Charleston, but the food in Charleston is incredible.
Now, I love barbecue, but I don't know if I would like South Carolina, because I heard that, isn't it like sweeter?
It's sweeter. Yeah.
I don't know if I'd like the South Carolina barbecue.
Are you a seafood fan? Mm-hmm. You got to go to Charleston. Mm. If you like anything like Southern cooking, go to Charleston.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah. No, it's really good. Really, really good.
Can you give us any hints or anything of what can we expect this season?
From the show?
Yeah.
You will see that love triangle you hinted at.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
May or may not be building. You will see Miss Abbott.
I didn't know we did that.
I thought that was me for a minute. I didn't say nothing. Miss Abbott will continue to be just a monster. You think Gamby's a monster? Miss Abbott is coming.
He's met his match.
Oh, good. I can't wait to see
I'm
that.
glad.
Oh yeah, and I think overall, man, like it's such a funny show because it's no holds barred and it's just in your face and it's unapologetic, and they truly wrote it like not intending to do any of that stuff. They just wrote it about these two outrageous characters, and you can expect to laugh out loud. I tell everybody, every episode there's going to be a moment where you go, "Oh my God, I can't believe they did that."
Yeah, I think we've kind of found that.
Yeah.
Like last episode with the fire, the house,
Oh, yeah.
burning down her house, Dr. Brown's house. We were like,
Crazy.
they took that a little far, don't you think?
It escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite moment of like when you're filming or a funny moment?
My favorite moment probably was just the first. Danny and I were the first shot of the whole show, first scene up, and I remember at one point, right before they called action, just standing there and being like, "Oh crap! Like this is really happening. Like this is an HBO show." Like I remember when we first got HBO as a kid, I thought we had arrived. You know?
Yeah.
But I remember just them calling action, and then we did our scene, and it was like dead silent. And I was like, I'm about to get fired. That's it. I'm about to get fired. And then I realized people had to hold their laughs, and I was like, oh, okay. I think I might be funny. So, but that was my favorite moment. That first shot, that first scene, because it's very humbling, very very humbling to, you put in a lot of work and start to watch some of it come to fruition, and very humbling. So.
Yeah. Well, your scenes are quick, but they're great.
Yeah.
Jay Sean's one of the
Yeah.
best characters.
Oh, thank you.
For
I
sure.
appreciate
I think
that.
so.
For sure.
Thank you very much.
He's
Yeah.
a nice guy
Yeah.
compared to
Everybody else.
Well, at
Yeah.
what we know at least.
Yeah, but I love it that people have that reaction. Like, I think TV has kind of lost that where you need to have reactions to what you see, whatever it is, good or bad, and talk about it and have open dialogue,
Awesome. Cool. Is there anything that we could see you in coming up?
My best friend and I have our own web series that we do. You can find it on Vimeo. It's called Make It Happen, and it chronicles he and I. His name is Bashir Sylvain. It chronicles he and I trying to make it happen here in L.A.
Oh, nice.
cool.
A couple auditions I have coming up that are, I think, pretty big. Another project that may or may not happen. We'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers always crossed. But I've said this before in interviews. You will see my face, whether you like it or not. You will see my face, world.
I don't think we're upset about that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
We're
you very
excited.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any predictions at all for the?
For the show?
Yeah.
Or for your life,
Ooh, I like the hints that we've gotten so
I
far.
know.
Yeah, that was slick sliding them in there.
Yeah.
That was good.
Lee Russell does get his foot in the game, played by Walt Goggins, who is brilliant.
So fun.
Yeah,
he is
he's
a
good.
brilliant actor.
Oh, okay. Do I predict? Are we gonna get some cool? We've had some like celebrity cameos.
Yeah.
I bet there's more celebs
come.
coming up.
There's
Surprising.
some more cameos coming up. The first was, the man himself, Bill Murray, who I met him and I was just like, I was literally sitting there watching the scene, and somebody came up behind me and put their hand on my shoulder, and I was kind of like, stop playing, man. Like, and I'm watching the scene, and when I turned around, it's Bill freaking Murray. And I'm just looking at him like, he just nodded his head at me, and I think I might have said, Ghostbusters.
And then you were like, "Can you? Okay, seriously, though, don't."
Seriously, Bill, you don't need to move your hand. Okay? But no, it was that was cool, man. Like, and then he, was kind and sweet and just the coolest dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
you could
awesome.
ever meet.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
hearing that.
Yeah, super cool.
Cool. Well, I guess that's about it for the show.
Already?
Yeah, I know.
Already.
It goes
Wrap
by
it up
so
quick.
fast.
That flew by.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Before we leave, though, I guess, Kelsey, where can they find you on the internet?
My name is Kelsey, and you can find me online at Kelsey Hightower.
I'm Tamra Brown. You can just Google me or whatever. All my handles are different.
And
I'm Sheaun McKinney. You can find me on Twitter, Sheaun305, and
Is
Facebook.
305 the area code of Miami?
I'm never changing.
All right.
That is the area code of Miami.
Mr. 305, that's Pitbull.
Way to go! Look at you. Yeah. And you can find me on Instagram, Sheaun McKinney, and Facebook, the same thing.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to go live on Facebook, but clearly I don't understand technology.
I can't figure it out either. They
Yeah.
keep saying how important it is.
And I'm Kelly McInerney. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HollyWeirdo or Snapchat Kelly McInerney with 3 L's. I guess that's about it. Thanks so much for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you guys
See you
next
next
week.
time.
Watch the show.
Yes. Every Sunday.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.